Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fight Me Bro betting show. This week, we are breaking down, or we're giving our fight picks that we like the most for UFC 253. Which, man, these really numbers are really fine. Are they only doing? Is it?
Dude, I disagree.
Is it
I
one pay
don't
per
think
view?
they're flying. Like, what was Masvidal? Wasn't that like 49? That seems like eons ago. I think they're going
if you've gone
slow.
ahead, I would have said 248, even though I know that's wrong.
Oh no, I think that sounds kind of right. But still, it seems like eons ago, and it was only 5 numbers ago.
True. Well, we're on.
I think they're going slow because you
253.
got all these other ones that mixed in, like last week, where we've got the UFC 1.2 Apex Arena with Black Cage on Fox, but only ESPN Plus app 6. Like, we have too many of that shit going on.
Yeah. Okay, I might be dumb here. So I didn't realize this was in Abu Dhabi until I went through and watched the embeddeds today. And Dominic Reyes went and visited the cage on the beach. Is that just a prop, or are they actually going to use that?
Dude, are you serious? They used that last time. That's just there for like pictures and shit.
But okay, but that's what I was saying. Like, they weren't going to use it as.
No, they never do.
Damn it! I thought this time it was going to be. I know they did it in previously, but I thought this time it was like, oh, when Dominic Reyes was there, he's like, oh, I'm picturing everyone. I'm like, are they going to like set up a makeshift thing on the beach? Are they going to do it right this time? Turns out, no. Like,
no, that is incorrect.
You could just put it on the beach, and it's going to sell more pay-per-views because the random Joe Schmo fan is going to be like, that's fucking sweet. They're fighting on the beach.
I would be the random Joe Schmo. That'd be more badass. But alas, here we are.
Well, yeah, here we are
inside.
With another full slate of bets. Last week, I went a little crazy. I think I did
crazy. You got prop crazy.
Yeah, but I think I did pretty well. I got the Cosmot right. I got who else did I get right with that one? Well, I got the Colby fight. It was always like 1-1. Like, I would get the decision, but I was getting too cute with it. Didn't change my strategy for this week. I'm going crazy again. I'm going very specific.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see how that goes. So,
if you want something more reliable, I actually did really well last week. Some might even say swept the board if you would count the Nico Price Donald Cerrone fight as a W. But
which we are.
Yeah, so swept the board. So 100%. We had a lot of easy money on the board last week, and I don't know that I'm going to sweep the board this week. I do have a couple of my picks that might be a tad bit aggressive, but like, I got shooter's confidence. So I completed a couple 16, 17 yarders. So we have more of those in the playbook for your easy money. I'll give you those. And then we do have a couple play action and take a 40-yard shot downfield plays. So I do like my slate. That said, last week I felt much better about these are the picks. Mm-hmm. These are 100%. This week I feel good about making money. That said, we got a couple like long balls on there that are good for long balls, right?
Same. If I sweep the board, let's just say we will be going to Sizzler because I'm going to be flush with cash. So I'm loving this card. I'll start off because I got a shit ton. First fight coming in the Brad Riddell versus Alex Da Silva. Hand up. Don't really know too much about Brad Riddell other than the fact that everyone, all the MMA touts are sucking his dick raw.
Yeah, I was going to say. I feel like the only thing I've heard about him is that he's great.
Yeah, it's like kickboxer, very good kickboxer, coming over, switching to MMA, just like Israel Adesanya, fighting out of City Kickboxing, just like Israel Adesanya. He's white, unlike Israel Adesanya. All I'm hearing is white Israel Adesanya at 155. What's there to hate on that? So I trust in City Kickboxing, able to make they obviously proven that they can make the transition for a fighter. So not going to overthink it. Hammer it minus 340.
Okay. Don't hate it. Even
little heavy to bet that blind with, but
yeah, I was going to say that's why I did
the blind resume. I just see kickboxer, City Kickboxing, New Zealand. That's enough. That's all I need.
Out. Mm-hmm. New Zealand, almost coronavirus free. So checks out. Mm-hmm. Okay, my first pick, we're going to go to Jake Matthews, Diego Sanchez fight. This is a steal right here. This is what you come here for, the deep in the weeds shit. The over 2.5 rounds at minus 160. That is bargain buying, folks. Jake Matthews has not TKO'd someone in 5 years. And that was a doctor's stoppage TKO, I'm pretty sure. And it was another 3 or something. 3? I think it was another 3 years prior to that before he actually TKO'd someone. So he's got – the only way that this dude finishes fights is he submits people. He's Jake Matthews, all-American wrestler. So Diego Sanchez, Yeah, right. Diego Sanchez, never been submitted. Not once. Now, Diego Sanchez is a fucking psychopath, and he's still, playing touch butt with Josh Fabia beneath the sheets. But that said, whatever he's doing, he's still Diego Sanchez, man. I mean, I don't want to give this guy too much credit because he also could double this up and just take Jake Matthews at minus 700 or whatever he's at. Diego Sanchez is awful at fighting. But if he's one thing, he had that one stretch maybe a year or two ago where he just got knocked out like 3 times. I got suckered in and I started betting him getting KO'd. And I think I only cashed on one of those. I caught the tail end of that streak. But the one thing that he does, like if he gets on the ground, he's never just getting dominated where he's like, giving up his back. He's not ever putting himself in triangles. He's positionally sound on the mat. I fully expect Jake Matthews to take him down all 3 rounds and pummel his face in for 15 straight minutes. But what I do not see happening is Diego Sanchez submitting. And I also don't see Jake Matthews breaking this 5+ year streak of not TKO on somebody. At minus 160, this is a steal.
Okay. All right. I'm going to save my comments because it's a Jake Matthews fight. He's one of my favorite fighters for no goddamn reason. So I have him later on in my card. But next up for me, it's coming in the co-main event, which is crazy that this is a championship fight and they're just doing it at 3 rounds. Is that just because they don't respect 205 or have they been doing that before?
Yes, that is. I found that to be very weird and I had to do a triple take on that. The amount of times that I looked that up this week was a lot, to say the least.
They're definitely just testing it out. They're hoping no one would notice. And I think everyone's just like, yeah, I guess we don't need 5 rounds of this. Like, whoever wins, it's still going to be he's not John Jones. So it's not going to feel like it's going to be paper champ written all over it. But in this, so I think Dominic Reyes is probably going to win this fight. I think he's the better athlete. And plus, it's hard not to see how close he was to John Jones and that fight, how he beat John Jones, but you got a handicap for how much John Jones is trying. However, I don't necessarily think the separation between Jan Blachowicz and Dominic Reyes is really that far. Added to the fact that this is 3 rounds, I could see a world where Jan Blachowicz gets a bullshit split decision win at plus 750. Plus 750.
Oh, you're getting really cute with it. Yeah, that's too cute.
Jan Blachowicz by decision plus 750.
Dude, I'm just taking – I saw Jan Blachowicz plus 250. I'm just going with that. That alone.
That's what I originally wanted.
I don't think there should be that much separation.
No.
And now he's got this whole thing where he goes and touches the rope of the hanged guy all the time. I mean, that is superstition that's tough to bet against. Yeah, I'm piggybacking your pick. That's Jan Blachowicz plus 250 is one of my picks. But yeah, with what you said, Dom Reyes looked great. That's basically it. You got a handicap for how much John Jones is trying.
Didn't try.
And you can't look at John Jones versus OSP. Now, nobody thought that OSP beat John Jones. I fully understand that. But even John Jones, Thiago Santos, we've seen John Jones not try before, and then we've seen John Jones try, like the second time against Gustafsson, for example, and he absolutely demolished him. So the fact that you have that, other than that, Dom Reyes beat old-ass Chris Weidman, and then Jan Blachowicz beat old-ass Rocco. What are we talking here? These are tomato. I mean, this is the same shit. And so if you were to price this out somewhere, Jan Blachowicz coming in at plus 150 or something, okay, I'd say ignore the number and just go with your gut, take Reyes. But at almost, you're looking at 2.5 to 1 odds here in a 3-round wonky title fight.
I think 60-40 chance, probably Reyes. But to get 40% of that action at plus 250, fuck it. I'm adding that to my card too. I'm going Jan Blachowicz. I missed out last week when I went Nico Price. Well, either way, we both missed out. But there was one of them where I went just a specific decision and the person just won. And I'm like,
Colby.
That's why you take both, or you just
Colby.
Take one. So I'm going plus 250 and plus 750. Like I said, if I hit all my bets, we are looking flush.
Yeah. I feel like this line is – it's just – this is one of those – this is what I was talking about when I said I got some shots. Like this – the numbers.
Play the number.
We say this all the time. We say this all the time. Bet you're You're not taking the fighter. You're just taking the number. Jan Blachowicz at plus 252. Or even that decision line is I mean, I would, like you said, I'd cover it with the ad of just Jan in case, when he's rubbing his magic lynching rope, the suicide rope or whatever he calls it, man, you never know what that does for the Polish power thing. Maybe that's where he gets it from. I don't know. So I'm not going to bet against that and leave the TKO possibility off the table, especially if he knows he only has to go 3 rounds. And so he can throw a little more recklessly. But even, plus 700 on the decision, throw that shit on there too. Like, who knows what's going to happen? So
right.
And these numbers are ridiculous. But, Jan Blachowicz also on my card.
All right. Yeah. Feeling confident about it. And if we lose, like we said, it's value. Okay. So
Value
handicappers, we that's what we do. We handicap. So next up for me, it's a double pick. It's coming in the main event, Costa versus Adesanya. I've been leading up to this for weeks. I love Adesanya. I think he's a real fucking deal. For some reason, maybe it's just the videos, maybe it's bicep curls. I have a feeling Paulo Costa is going to find a way to hurt Israel Adesanya. And this is just going to be the first fight to set up the trilogy. Like, Israel Adesanya is going to be kicking his ass, and then out of nowhere, Paulo Costa is going to hurt him in like the 4th or 5th round, and then it's going to be like, here's your new champ, but automatic title rematch. It's going to be one of those situations. So I like Paulo Costa here at plus 150. I also like him here by TKO because I think if he's going to win, it's going to be TKO at plus 275. So we're looking at some good coin. Also, stylistically, like, I know it's a talking shit point, but the whole, like, skinny boy trash talk and being like, once I actually put my hands on you, like, I will break you. There's a little bit of truth to that, man. Like, Adesanya isn't that, like, he's wiry. We know he's wiry, and Borrachina is anything but. And I'm just picturing him throwing those body shots. If he's able to land with those, like, one, either it's going to greatly slow down Adesanya, or two, I could totally see him, like, hurting him with these body shots. Like, imagine taking a body shot from Paulo Costa and then imagine having, like, a half of inch of muscle to protect you from that. I don't know. I think I see some value here, and it just, for some reason, this has something crazy written all over it. This is everything the Yoel Romero fight was going to be, and I think it's going to make up for it here. Also, I think that Yoel Romero fight might make Israel Adesanya a little bit more trigger happy because he likes to please the fans, and he knows we were not happy about the last fight. So I think he's going to try to pick it up more. Honestly, he might not even have to because Borrachina is just going to walk directly at him and start swinging hooks. So it's either he's going to swing back or get knocked out.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Then my second to last. So after this, I got my lock, and that's it. So I don't know where you're at in your pick bonanza over there. I'm going. I mean, I thought this was impossible because I thought she just fought, but apparently she then took this on late notice. We got Sijara Eubanks fighting again. I'm going to go ahead and bet against her. That's pretty fair.
That's my lock as well. So
okay. Ketlin Vieira. Look, she got KO'd by Irene Aldana. I don't know what it is.
No shame in that. No shame in that.
I don't know what it is about Ketlin Vieira. I'm like the way that she put shit together. I know it was only a split decision win against Kat Zingano, and I'm also well aware that was like 2.5 years ago. But that fight, this could be a problem in my betting strategy. But that fight is just the way that she's another one of those chicks that fights me. Like she's got the gas tank to go 3 rounds. So we don't, and obviously this isn't a main event. And she's mean, and she can fight. Like I said, 15 minutes in the clinch, elbow work, knee work, relatively decent takedown defense. I imagine Sijara Eubanks might get her down in the first round. Sijara Eubanks is pretty strong if we have to give her credit for something. But I mean, Sijara Eubanks, let's not forget, lost to Betch Kohea. Can't get that out of my head. Okay. And then she had some losses to Chukagian early on and some other people. But I mean, this is just mean. I think it's going to be relatively contentious first round. And then as soon as Sijara Eubanks slows down one tiny little smidgen, this is just going to be Ketlin Vieira carving her up. And so at minus 190, that's got to go. That is the must-have on your card.
It's way closer of a line than I thought it was. This was I saw it. I saw it on the card. I forgot that she was even on this. did a little research. Sijara Eubanks is saying with 2 wins in 2 weeks, she's hoping launches her to a title shot. Can't have that. I cannot have that shit talk on the timeline. Won't do it. Can't do it. This is an anti-Sijara Eubanks betting show, and I will continue to bet against her. So let's hope we're not making an even worse rivalry. But I put in a 4-unit bet at minus 200. It was shit odds. I'm seeing it online at minus 185, but I just don't. I have zero faith in Sijara Eubanks being able to string together wins. She's 7,
especially 2 back-to-back weight cuts for her.
Yeah, it ain't happening. I'm very, very confident about this. So this was going to be my lock. And then my second lock, because I didn't even realize this was on, going double locks this week. I know you mentioned it's been a little bit of time since Jake Matthews, Mr. All-American, 2-time wrestling All-American at Missouri. It's been some time since he's got a knockout. Well, I'm betting that he's due. Plus 250, he knocks out Diego Sanchez. This
lock on the prop. That is ballsy.
Yes, a lock on a prop bet. And you know what's a lock on a prop bet? I was watching UFC Embedded today, and Diego Sanchez started talking about what he was writing and the little quotes, and you need to open up your mind and let people affect you and do all this shit. I'm like, it has been too long since that guy's been knocked out. He has no brain cells left.
He has massive CTE. I think that's the one thing that we all could establish from that video.
And like you said, he had a little bit ago of a streak of being knocked out, and then he's kind of come back. As we've seen as of late, people are regrowing a chin, but I'm not banking that it's here to stay. Diego Sanchez is fucking old, and it is city miles. It is going through potholes fucking every single day, twice on Sunday.
Stop and goes.
Horrible. So I just have no faith in Diego Sanchez being able to survive for 3 rounds. His last fight, it's like it was a win, but against Michelle Pereira, who let's face it,
he got disqualified.
Sucks ass. Yeah, he couldn't even competently beat his ass, and he was beating his ass for 2 rounds straight. So
yeah,
I know it's not necessarily Jake Matthews style. I'm hoping he takes him down and just bashes his brains in. I saw the video and I'm saying, got to do it. Going straight to knockout. I know on the day of, I'm going to put Jake actually at minus 700 though.
It's practically free money. Like what is Diego Sanchez going to do to Jake Matthews?
He's not going to beat him. Like there's no fucking way, but there's a chance of disqualification. Like I don't know if I can risk getting burned by Diego Sanchez like that. You know, it hurt with Modafferi. It would really fucking hurt with Diego Sanchez. Even if there's like a 1% chance getting burned on a minus 700 bet to Diego Sanchez, I mean, that automatically jumps.
That would be tough.
Yeah, that jumps to number 1 as the worst of all time. So those are my bets. I got quite a bit. We're going to be a little bit tied up. We got a little lake house action this week, but we will be watching these fights. It'll probably be very intoxicating.
Dude, I still have a lock of the week to go.
Oh, I thought you were done with your – oh,
no, I said Kellen Veerman was my last one. Oh, no.
Shit,
I mean, that could be a double lock. But I am also going to get some action in on this main event because, I mean, how could you not? Now, I thought the exact same thing that you thought where first of all, steroids are a hell of a drug. I would imagine that helps a lot. Second of all, I do think a lot of people are really ignoring the fact. I am a little skeptical of the fact that I guess not skeptical, but there are so many people that think this is going to be real cut and dry, just like Paulo Costa is going to walk into jabs for 25 minutes. And I think people are forgetting just how willing Paulo Costa is to basically probably by way of steroids, just walk into punches.
Like I was going to say C.A. Steroids are awesome.
Yeah.
Not really scared of a jab.
He doesn't really mind walking into punches. So there will be times where he closes the distance on Adesanya simply because he is going to just eat 7 punches to do so. And then, like you said, it's like it's the scene in The Other Guys. Like, I'm going to rock your body with mean, nasty hooks. And I'm very curious to see how Israel Adesanya responds to that. That said, I had to do like a reality check on myself. Double back down, or not double back down, but double back. Lock of the week is Israel Adesanya. I'm putting it in
that's
at minus 170. It's definitely not the Mackenzie Dern Ronda Marcos lock of the week. I'll tell you that. But
Jeff's kiss.
Yeah, right. That was handing out free money.
Mm-hmm.
This one, you're going to be gripping your nuts a little bit. But what I think is going down is one 5-round fight. Okay. I think over the course of I do think, like, here's kind of how I see this going. Round one, Paul Costa just gets his face jabbed off, walking into all of Izzy's punches. Round two, Izzy's just like, how is this guy not deterred at all? And then Paul Costa just keeps walking through punches and literally gets into like almost clinch fighting range sometimes,
Yeah.
something that Yoel could not do, and then starts taking over rounds 2, 3. And then I'm anticipating another switch, championship rounds. He just gets tired. And
Yeah.
then round 4, 5, Izzy comes back. The other thing that could be super interesting is how much does Izzy want to kick? I don't know how many people have tried, probably because his thighs are like sequoia trees.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know that, a simple couple kicks has to do. But, dude, we've been seeing the rise of this calf kick coming around this past year.
Yeah.
How does Izzy use that? I mean, you can be rest assured there will be absolutely zero grappling in this fight. So
Yeah.
I don't even think we need to worry about that. But it's really, to me, it just comes down to, is Costa going to be able to tie Izzy up? And is he going to have the gas tank to really – because it does take some gas to absorb a punch too. So, like, is he going to have the gas to absorb the 3 to 4 strikes necessary to get into phone booth range and then clobber him with hooks and then reset, do that again? He's got to do it for the better part of at least 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that he can take those 3 rounds. Unless, of course, he knocks him out, which, again, see point A, steroids, hell of a drug. I got to stick to my guns, man. I have to believe that the most talented striker at 185 is the best guy. Like, I can't just now, if they have a rematch or something, if Costa knocks him out, like you said, and it just is a complete obliteration, and you could just see, oh, wow, like, he is literally hitting him with sledgehammer punches.
Yeah.
If that happens, rest assured, going into the rematch, I'll probably just side with steroids work. And I'll just
really
Costa.
see. I'm the opposite. I think if Costa wins, I'm going on Adesanya, because Costa, the next fight is going to be the same exact fight. Adesanya could at least come back and make adjustments and do and it depends on how it is. Like you said, if it's a demolition, or just a clear cut victory, like Max Holloway and Volkanovski, then it might be just like, holy shit, Paulo Costa, athleticism and steroids beats. Still,
that's what I was talking about.
But
it's
I also see a world
back and forth
where a Yoel Whitaker scenario, except in this fantasy world, Yoel pulled it off. Where it's like, oh shit, he definitely outskilling him and knocks him out, and then it's like, okay, because then coming back, I'm like, well, now can he avoid the knockout punch? Can he game plan around it? It's just, I'm kind of hoping Paulo Costa wins, not because I just bet on him and I like Paulo Costa more than Adesanya. I do love Paulo Costa, but more the fact this would set up the continuation of the fights, because if Adesanya just goes out there and wins and it's not like an instant classic, then there really is no instant rematch, let these guys just hammer it out. And this would be a case where I have no problem if we just keep running them back. But that first fight has got to be it. And the most likely situation for that happening is if Paulo Costa wins.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate that at all. I have to, like I said, I have to trust, I have to have faith that I can't just blindly, this is my own naive, I never know how to, is it naivety? Naivety? That, whatever that is, this might be that for me, but I can't just be like, oh, steroids make muscles big. And I got to take the guy that I know it's going to be an all stand-up fight. I got to take the guy that I know is a better stand-up fighter. That's how I'm betting this one.
Don't hate that at all. A lot of these, like I said, I think there is a better chance than not. But I'm looking at odds here, and I'm like, well, I'm going for the juiciness. I've become addicted to just guessing the fights exactly, and so far
there's a lot of juicy odds though. Like that, even that one, just to get Paulo Costa at plus 160 or something or whatever it is, like just to
Plus
get that.
150. I've seen as high as almost like, yeah, plus 165. Where it's
And
like, this is
well,
another
but
one.
like
This might be
taking the
coin flip.
TKO, even
Yeah.
like you said, that's in the two. Like anytime you're getting odds on Paulo Costa to knock someone out at 2-1, like that,
He usually
that's
succeeds
juicy.
at doing that. You know,
Yeah,
like
right. Like there are some juicy props in this on this card.
I would. There's some. Yeah, I think you said it perfectly before. There's some shot down feel. Like there's not a whole lot of like, this is what for sure going to happen, but there's a lot of, I could see a world where this happens, and that line is off. And I love those kind of cards because then I just throw a ton of action. And if I get, it's like the Super Bowl props. You get a couple of them, then you feel like you're the smartest guy ever.
And well, that and like some of these, I mean, I can almost, I'm trying to think like between, look, I don't like the Jake Matthews TKO bet, but you take that, you roll that up with a Jan Blachowicz TKO. You take that, you got Paul Costa TKO. You've got this Jake Matthews, Diego Sanchez. I wonder what the Jake Matthews decision line is. I'm sure that's pretty close to even money. Even
It's
so, you
plus.
got that.
I think it's plus 150. I think.
There you
or
go.
maybe
I
minus.
mean,
No, it's minus 140. It's close.
It's got to be less than minus 160. You can't pick one guy and have it be less than just the over. So
Sure.
it's got to be less than minus 160. But
I might just take both. I might take them by decision.
take them both. But that's what I'm saying is you've got a lot of. I don't know what the Ketlin Vieira decision line is or the TKO line. Just banking on like. The point I'm trying to make is when you said you got a lot of viable shots downfield, this is like you're playing the Bears defense. They have dog shit out there in the set. Like if you throw enough 25 to 35 yard passes, you're going to miss a couple of them. That's a third of the field. Couple of them are going to connect those. Like if you're really sticking the props on this card, I think that you're going to have some connection down on these monster payouts. I think that now. Granted, I didn't put a lot of those on my card. Who knows, depending on alcohol consumption, how that's going to go day of. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of opportunity here. Where like last week, outside of Colby, which I mean, again, the broken rib. What are you going to do about that? And the Dern submission, I wouldn't have said the same thing. Like last week was just take the winners, take the money off the table, get your W's in. This you got some room to shoot this week. So hopefully everybody realizes that because these cards don't come around often.
It'll be dangerous, like I was saying. The first time I thought I was closing it. We're gonna be out late drinking, so nothing is more dangerous than like drinking all day and then remembering that, oh, wait, now it's time to gamble. And then you're like, fuck, I totally forgot this was a thing.
I think they start in the afternoon. They're like adjusting them for Fight Island time.
Again. So drinking first, getting drunk, and then being like, oh, shit, it is time to gamble. That's always a shock to the senses because I know as soon as I wake up, I'll most likely be drinking. So I'm going to be playing fast and loose with it. Should be a fun card. I'm excited. If you're excited, tweet us out your picks. Talk shit about our picks. Say whatever the fuck you want. But make sure you.
It's tough to have anything to say lately outside of that Angie Hill week. We've been pretty nuts on. So
yeah, we've been good. We had a couple of we had one actually really cold week. A couple of middle.
That was the Angie Hill.
More time than not, I think we've been kind of killing it. We keep saying we got a track, but then our bets are so fucking all over the place that we're just like, shit.
We make whimsical ads on day of but
we'll have to think of something so we could flex a little bit more now that we're getting. I feel like I'm getting good at this.
Broad MMA touts.
Yeah,
online.
It's like now that I feel like I'm getting good at it, that doesn't mean I'm actually getting good at this.
The minute you start tracking it, we're gonna have a couple O for weeks.
Yeah, true. So, like I said, you can follow us at Below the Belt MMA. You can follow me at Broliba, and you can follow Nick at _a guy and a gi. Until next week, peace out, guys.